At this time, we're going to put to use some of the information that Lori shared with us during our networking activity. So the first step is for everyone to determine what generation you are in. So there's a chart. We're going to pull it up on the PowerPoint, and on your table, you can see. So figure out which generation you fall in, and then take a sticker from the center of your table that matches your generation and put it on your name badge in a place that's visible to others. Everyone take a sheet from the center of the table. Looks like this. And the objective is to mingle around the room and find other WIN members that fit the descriptions in the grid on your sheet. And when you find someone that fits the description, have them sign your sheet in the appropriate box after describing their situation. Okay, so does everyone see the grid on the table? So what we're going to do is go around and mingle, meet other WIN members, and find out what box on the grid they fit, and then have them sign it. So we're going to take about 35 minutes for this activity, and then about 4:40 we're going to wrap up, and then we're going to open it up for some questions. Okay? So ready, set, go. We're going to open it up for some observations and if there was anything interesting you found through that activity. So we're going to pass it over. We have a microphone, and Jessica and Katie, if you could raise your hand if you want to make any kind of comment about the activity, you know, what was fun about it, what was interesting, what was hard, and really what challenges. I know my grid still has a lot of empty spots. So anyway, if someone wants to start the dialogue, we'll open it up. Here we go. I am not surprised that Debbie raises her hand.
Okay, first thing I noticed is we don't have any traditionalists that I found. So that just proves that women in our industry were late coming into it, but that doesn't mean we're not going to control it before it's over.
That's a really interesting point, and you're right, Debbie, we are going to control it. But what's interesting is I struggle with that too, and if we started looking around, and I think it really spoke to what Lori talked about when you started looking at the different characteristics of the generations. You know, we didn't have that entry into the workplace as much as we see now, and particularly our industry, right? So very interesting. Anyone else?
What is the breakdown? Do you have the breakdown of WIN members, the women at this conference? What's our breakdown percentage-wise?
Well, that's interesting. We don't have it, but we certainly can do it now by a show of hands, or we could stand up. So I don't know. I mean, as far as traditionalists, do we have any traditionalists in the room? No? What about baby boomers? Stand up. Yeah. Generation X. Yeah. The millennial, or the Generation Y. Yeah, good for you guys. Any technocrats? What's interesting about that, does anyone, before I give some comments, does anyone have any comments on about just the who stood up? And we'll get the mic over to you.
Hi, my name's Ashley. Hi. I was curious actually, and maybe some other millennials might be able to comment in, but most of them that I spoke to were able to almost everyone was saying that they were working an average of 50 hours or more a week. And I was just curious if it's, personally for me sometimes it's a little bit of a competition thing. I feel like I have to learn as much as I possibly can, as fast as I can, just to survive every single day. And so I was just wondering if if it's just the workload or if it's your personal drive to keep you there that much, that's maybe just a prove yourself kind of thing. I don't know, it's just.
Great question.
It's my dad, if you know the company.
Thank you, Ashley. But that's a great point. I mean, that's a great question. Are there any other millennials that want to field that question? Go ahead.
So I agreed. I kind of had the same experience talking to other millennials, and I personally think it's because we've grown up so connected that we don't know how to turn off when we go home, where like our parents or someone like that, they are, I'm not saying are always used to an 8 to 5, but I can't turn anything off. It's the first thing I do in the morning. It's the last thing I do at night. I'm checking nonstop, so.
Yeah? Thank you. Appreciate that.
I'll comment on that. I think that it's a mixture of both. Like, I think that we were part of the generation that, you know, kind of was new to the technology, and because it was so new and exciting for us, that we're driving it until it breaks. You know, I recently attended a women's conference for the Women's Institute for Change, and their whole you know, speech was about this, was about why are we working so many hours in this specific group, in the millennial group. And I think part of it is part of it to prove something, to say, hey, you know what, we are in this industry now, and we're going to push it till it breaks, frankly. So.
Great comments. Thank you. Yeah. Go ahead.
Hello, Stephanie.
First time attendee?
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you. Stemming off of what she just said, I myself find the need to, what am I trying to say? I feel the need to, I'm sorry. Well, wow. This is intimidating. What I was going to say is basically I feel the need to prove myself, and so the men in the company or the men that work with me, my coworkers, so they know that I can do everything just as good, if not better than they can, because they underestimate us and they don't think that because we are women, we can't do the job. Well, I'm more on the technical end of things. Actually, I am a body tech, but they don't think that we can do the work that they can do because we are women. So in my end, I work as much as I do to prove them wrong. If that
Yes.
makes sense.
Yep.
Sorry about the delay.
Thank you very much. It's hard when they put a microphone in front of you, isn't it?
Stemming off of what all of those ladies were saying, I know I have my work email on my phone because work pays for my phone. I also, like Ashley does, I work for my dad. And because I'm the boss's daughter, I feel like I have to work those extra hours being a millennial, one, to prove that I am there because I work hard, not just because of what my last name is. I also feel like I have to work hard because of what this young lady was just saying, because 60% of my coworkers are male. And we also, in the industry, a lot of our coworkers are insurance folks, and they are mostly male as well. So again, a lot of it is what she was saying, to prove that, you know, we can be there right along with them. So yeah, I think a lot of it from what this lady was saying back here is to prove I'm almost always the last one to go home at night. And it's not really because my workload necessarily is more. It's just to make sure that, you know, everyone sees that I'm a hard worker.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate that. You've got the triple whammy going on. You've got the boss's daughter, the gender, and the generation. So I appreciate those comments. Thank you.
My name is Tona, and I'm a workaholic. It's very true.
First step is to admit it.
That's right. I just wanted to say something about the baby boomers. There aren't too many here that have retired. There are a few, and then gone back into the workplace. But I noticed I had a really hard time filling that spot where the baby boomer was looking for another job. We don't like change. We want to stay where we are, and I found that most of us fit this one down in the bottom where, you know, the job industry was not what we thought we were going to start out as. I started 25 years ago, and like this young lady said, I had to prove that being a woman, writing estimates, that I could do that I could be that person that did everything in the shop except the body work. And it does happen. They do gain respect for you, and there are more and more women going into this industry every day, and we need to keep it up, spread the word.
Aw, thank you, Tona. Well said, Tona. Thank you.
Going back to what we were talking about millennials and the schedule, what it looks like, I think it's 3-stage. First, it's also the visibility in your company. Obviously, if this was a room of men, it'd be chock full of people. This is a room of women. We're at the most that you said that you've seen in a few years, and it's at 120. And so it's the visibility, what is it? 170, I apologize. And so it's the visibility within the company that there's like 5 women, I feel like, in my division. And so if I do something and it's great, I have visibility towards the top, which is fabulous. But if I don't, I also have the visibility towards I faltered. The second thing is going again with the gender, definitely going into this industry, I knew nothing about it. And so I came in, I worked at BMW, and so that's why I was connected with going into my internship. I have a professional sales degree, and so I was paired with this division to go into it, and I went in, and the only way I could prove myself was picking up a DA and doing it myself. And so I felt like I had to learn faster. I get 5 more questions than my male counterparts if I don't know them, and say, hey, let me get back to you, let me look into that. It doesn't look the same as if my male counterpart said the same. I should know what that is. I need to know what my adhesives do. I need to know what the cure time, the dry time, the dwell time, what can it go on? And it's just like, wait, I've never met that substrate before. We haven't come out with aluminum. Let me look into that, but I should know it before I get there. And then the third is just also the curse of connectivity, is that we don't know how to turn it off. I used to work for a celebrity makeup artist, and she used to email me at 2 o'clock in the morning. And it was because that work email is always there, but I also noticed that I can't seem to not look at my email. That ping goes off, or that like little red circle's there, and then you're like, I need to look at it. And so it's the curse of connectivity. So I think it is definitely a 3-stage as to why women and millennials are tied to having a 60-hour work week, it seems like.
Right. Thank you very much. Very well said. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Cheryl, and I'm a baby boomer. And I don't think it's a 50 or 60-hour week just associated with millennials, because I believe, yes, go ahead and clap. I believe it is the baby boomers and the Gen X that are also doing this. I think it's mostly related to being a woman or multitasking and all the things that we can do. I've worked in a male-dominated environment for many, many years, even before I got in the collision repair industry. And I myself never felt that I had to prove anything to the men. I felt it was, this is what I want to do, I have a passion, and I just work hard. So I just wanted to put a little bit out there for the baby boomers that, yes, we do also work as many hours as the millennials. We do also have our emails and technology going. And I'd like to thank Frederica for signing 2 boxes for all of us.
Thank you, Cheryl. Appreciate those comments. You know, it's interesting because this is really great dialogue, isn't it? We all struggle with the same challenges, regardless of what generation we are. I really believe that to be the case. And a lot of what Lori said is, find that commonality and, celebrate our similarities. And I think it does open the door to have some more dialogue later today or throughout the conference, because there's so many of us in this room that are struggling with the same things. And I know me, it's very hard to turn it off. I found myself relating to almost all of those generations. There was an aspect of all those generations that could have applied to me. So anyway, this is great dialogue, and I appreciate that. Does anyone have any final? Go ahead, Petra.
Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback on what Cheryl said. I'm a baby boomer myself. I guess I don't count my hours really, just because I think I had the luxury for the majority of my life that I really love what I do. And then it's easy to work more than the normal hours. What I did appreciate, though, was when younger people come in, that I was able to say, hey, you have a family. Please make sure you find the right balance between your business life and your family life. Your family needs you. And I always admired the people, the young women specifically, that found the balance between business life and personal life. So me, working longer hours, it's because I love it, for the most part. There are not so good days, yeah. But for the most part, I love it. And then giving advice to the younger people in my environment, basically saying, watch what you do, your family needs you, and give advice, make it right. If you work longer, fine. But if you have to go home early, take care of your family, do that as well.
Yes. Thank you, Petra. It's a great reminder, isn't it? All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the dialogue and the interaction. That's excellent. Well, I want to thank you all for a great kickoff for our conference, and we'll see you tonight at 5:30 at Paradise Cove for the luau. Thank you.